And once one person does it, now for some reason everyone else feels like, oh, it's possible now.
Yeah.
But it takes it takes somebody to have to do it.
I know the way, and the bodybuilding community will destroy me on it. And it's like, no, that's not gonna work. But I'm telling you, intermittent fasting.
I'm not with it.
Intermittent fasting.
I'm not
That's
with
what
it.
I did the last couple times I stepped on stage.
I'm not with you. I'm not
still
working
fast.
with you. You're on your own
It's
here.
so doable.
I'm gonna leave right now.
You
finish
can
having this
You
discussion. I'll
can
come
build
back.
muscle on intermittent fasting. You can fast for 16 hours a day. Eat 8 hours. You can, and then if you cheat during that 8 hours, it literally will not matter because you're fasting for 16 hours after. It is the most life-changing thing, bro.
Let me tell you something.
Intermittent fasting.
Let me tell you something. So like we were just saying, everyone's heart is different. And that was what was easy for you. You could
it wasn't easy.
Hold up.
It wasn't easy.
You said to me when you were doing that, you're like, oh, I could eat the same amount of food in what, 8 hours or what it was when you did. What was your fast? 16 hours, then 8 hours.
Yeah,
and you could eat the same amount in 8 hours.
Yeah.
There's not a friggin' chance in hell. I shouldn't say that. I don't like putting myself in constraints. It would be very challenging for me to eat the same amount of food in 8 hours. For a lot of people, it would be very hard for them to eat the same amount of food in 8 hours.
It was very difficult for me as well.
Okay.
When I originally started intermittent fasting, I was the 6 meals a day, spread out throughout the day.
Yeah.
Every 2-3 hours, I was eating.
Mm-hmm.
When I originally started doing IF and condensing all that into 8 hours, it was damn near impossible. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Now
Too much food.
So easy for me to do. And the benefits of intermittent fasting have been absolutely so profound, bro.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if you're ever going to try it, man. And it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, to, especially because you're trying to build muscle. You still need that caloric intake.
I think if you're trying to lose weight, it's another means of restricting calories. And there's some benefits to that.
Big time.
But yeah, especially for the gaining muscle part. Like when you told me you're doing it and you're like maintaining gaining muscle, I was like, bro, hats off to you.
I'm 2 meals a day right now.
And 2
meals a day.
And you can. So how much calories do you eat in those like two meals?
I don't know. I should send it to you. I don't really. It's all weight.
It's got to be like ballpark 1,400 calories or so. Because your total daily, if you're only eating 2 calories, your total intake for the day has got to be somewhere around 28 to 3,000 for the day.
I would like to think it's over 3,000.
Yeah, so that's a lot of food in 2 meals.
Yeah. First meal.
Yeah.
6 eggs, oatmeal, chicken and rice.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's 2 meals.
It's fair.
That's 2 meals.
2 meals in one, right? And then the second meal, which I have for dinner time, is steak and rice, spaghetti. And that's what I have.
Spaghetti with meat sauce or
with
meat. That's another 2 meals.
Beef,
so that's
sauce,
like 4 meals. And I'm guessing the size of those 2 meals are also big.
They're big.
So it's more like 6 meals still.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see myself doing that.
And at first I couldn't do it.
2 meals. I couldn't do it.
It's very difficult.
would feel like my stomach is going to burst open.
Mine did too at first.
Yeah.
Mine did too at first. I should like send you the weights and the portions so you'd be like, really? Right? Because it's all weighed, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot. And then even now, like I find myself, especially now that I'm training again, my body's getting hungry sooner. I'm like, all right, I'm growing. Because that's always for me a sign that I'm growing.
Yeah. When you're because your body's like, I need more. To feel what I'm building.
Right.
Yeah.
So like because I'm fasting, like my kids have a chicken, French fries, like shove it in there. You know what I mean?
I'll eat
whatever. Have a little extra.
You savage.
Yeah, have a little extra.
You ain't gonna eat that, little man.
No. Have a little extra. Yeah. So yeah, man. No, it's great, bro. If you ever try. If you want to like lean out and get ripped.
Yeah.
It's something to try. Maybe don't start with like an 8 or 16 hour fast. Maybe start with like 14 or 12 or something. Like you know what I mean? And then start to condense it.
Have you ever tried a juice cleanse?
No, never.
I want to do that.
But
just for the sake of just to see what it happens.
You're gonna lose weight.
Yeah, I just want to see what happens.
Probably some muscle too.
I just want to see what happens. Right? Just for like 7. No, not even 7 days. Like a 3-4 day.
Like how much calories can you really get from drinking juice all day?
Probably not much. Not much. But I just want to see what happens.
Piss it all out.
So that's my problem, man. Curiosity killed the cat, and I'm a curious mo effer.
Really,
Like,
huh?
I just like to
Get
see
curious
like,
about intermittent fasting.
What happened? I'm curious.
Yeah.
The problem is my hunger is stronger than curiosity.
Okay,
and I know
and Tate
that,
says it all the time. When do we work our best? When we're hungry, right? Men back in the day had to go
I
out and
don't
hunt
know
for their
about
food.
that.
Men,
I'm miserable when
no,
I'm
no,
hungry.
no.
I am miserable and
Okay,
angry.
okay.
And
So the whole hangry thing, right?
Yeah.
Because your glycogen levels, you need sugar, your blood needs
Yeah.
sugar, this and that, blah blah blah. That goes away. I had that. I was the most hangry person in the world. Like, ask my wife. I would go
you
out.
Don't know me angry.
I'm telling you,
You
I would
don't
go out.
Know me angry.
No, I would go out and we'd be out and like say I got hungry in the middle of our little adventure, whatever the hell we're doing. Where like I would be the most miserable person. Like, and she knew like, okay, you need food. That's gone. Intermittent fasting
ex-girl was
fixed
like that
that
too. My
Intermittent
ex-girl was
fasting
like that
fixed
too.
that, bro.
My-
I don't have that anymore.
That's cool.
Glycogen levels, boom. Sugar levels, boom. Right across the board, levels, steady, bro. Intermittent fasting. That's how life changing it
My
was.
ex-girl, when I would get hungry, she'd be like, "I need to get this guy food, or we're gonna get in an argument."
No,
like
like
we're getting in an argument in 5.
if you were hungry, how challenging would this podcast be? Very difficult,
hungry,
right?
yeah.
Very difficult to do.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
energy, you wouldn't be thinking. You'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cloudy.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting
the
fixed
vibe
all
would
of
be
that.
different because I'd be angry.
Yeah, intermittent fasting fixed all of that, man. Insane. That's how insane it was, bro. But like Tate
At
always
some
says,
point, maybe I will try it, just because I feel like being in this space myself, I should kind of know what to expect, and I try these things.
yeah,
But I've been putting off trying that for forever.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not something I'm.
there's
amped
always
up to try.
there's always that point because obviously we get hungry, right?
Well,
And
hold on,
I'm sure
hold on.
you've been there.
How long did it take before some of these things like subsided? Because if any of our viewers are going to try it, like
I have to go back.
they might want to know like what to expect,
Yeah.
including myself. Like, how long do I do this before like it starts to feel normal?
The actual fasting part of it, in terms of like, oh my God, 16 hours I can't eat, you get used to it pretty quick. I'd say 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
You can get used to like not eating for 16 hours. Fitting all the food in, depending on how much food you need, whatever your goals are, right? Within the 8 hours. And I'm saying 18-6 because that's the most common. Not
Yeah.
eating for 16, then eating for 8. Fitting
Okay.
all that food in might take some time. For me, it was probably a few weeks. I made a video on it way back when. I should go back and watch it and remember.
Let's add that in the description.
Yeah. So, but in terms of like the fasting thing, it doesn't take long because like again, like Tate says, not even Tate, but like back in the day, we had to go and hunt for our food. Sometimes
There was no food.
there was no food. We spent days not eating.
Yeah.
Right. But men still had energy. Men still did what they had to do. They still went out and hunted and got food eventually.
Yeah,
They
but
came
you're
back
probably
and they had a big
smashing
meal.
smashing skulls with rocks,
They-
being pissed, and nobody documented that.
Control it. Bro. Control it. Am I an angry guy?
No.
Of all the people you know, am I an angry guy?
No.
All right.
No.
Because I eat. I still eat.
Yeah.
It's all controlled. I still get my food eventually.
Yeah.
Right? But like even before I ate right before this podcast, but I was like questioning it because I know typically I function better when I'm not when I'm fasted, sorry. Like
Yeah.
I remember like going to acting school and stuff, I purposely wouldn't eat because I was more on point and my brain functioned better while I was fasted.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Everything was better. Like I learned better when I'm fasted. Everything is for the most part better when I'm fasted.
I wouldn't say fasted, but not full.
Uh
When I'm not full, I'm sharper. I'm more on point and everything. When I'm not full.
when you're not full.
Now, I don't have to be like. I
well,
don't.
yeah,
I,
'cause you never really fasted before, so you wouldn't know the difference.
So, yeah, at some point maybe I'll give that. I'll probably try it at some point, but
It's epic.
there's a lot of other stuff I'm going to probably try
It's
first.
epic, bro.
Well,
It's like
probably.
it's one of those game changers.
So
It's one of those game
to the
changers that
viewers-
people don't talk about, but it's a game changer for men and women.
to the viewers, I think there's enough people promoting it where people should probably give it a try.
It's definitely not a wave. It's definitely not a trend.
Yeah, I think
There's a lot of
enough
people who do it. A lot of people do it, and they don't even know.
Yeah,
because they wake up, they don't
yeah.
have breakfast, and they don't eat till 12,
Yeah.
whatever.
I remember Dana White. I just watched something from Dana White.
Yeah.
Dana White? Yeah, Dana White. Dano? Whatever his name is. UFC dude. He did it. And there's a lot of people that do it. So it would be stupid of me to be like, oh, there's so many people doing this. There's nothing there. I
Right.
mean, again, science might say something, you have one. There's always the one side of the fence and then the other side. But as a person in that industry, I think it's worth to just give it a try and be like, what can I learn from this? What did I experience? What happened? And if so many people are saying all these good things, it's kind of worth a try.
And even because like you're someone who likes to optimize. You're someone who wants to perform at his best.
Yeah.
You want the edge.
Yeah.
Right? And you're, for the most part, I would say you're willing to try what you need to do, right? Alcohol does this to you. You don't do it. Sugar does this. You'll try to avoid it, right? And it's something that will, again, it's a game changer.
I
one
don't
of the
doubt it,
bigger
man.
things I've done.
Don't doubt it.
To change.
Hey, I was scared to
how
not use
how
condoms
well I function
for a long time, and then it was a game changer once I did it.
Condoms?
Yeah.
Suck.
What are those? This guy's like, I haven't used one of those.
Do they still sell those? Is that still a thing?
You know what I'm saying, though. Like, so yeah. Okay, let me switch gears and go back to a topic that we were talking about before, real quick, before we wrap it up.
Yeah.